I'm Debbie Wood, and this is Nana's Kitchen. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Nein? You don't have to speak German to appreciate what my little German grandmother taught me. You see, I was blessed to have for 99 years of her life a cute little grandmother. She was about 4'8" tall, and she taught me two very important things. One thing she taught me was the German culture and the cuisine and the foods of my people. And one of those other things she taught me was Philadelphia cream cheese, because German cuisine uses a lot of cream sauces. We have creamed vegetables, we have creamed meats, we have all kinds of stroganoffs and stews, and German and Dutch cooking rely on cream sources like Philadelphia. She knew that they were around longer than she's been, and she could depend on Philadelphia cream cheese to be creamy and not gritty, and to be something that was going to make her dishes perfect. And she always used this original block of Philadelphia cream cheese, and I do too. So what I'm going to show you today is a recipe that my grandmother shared with me, that my family, I saw my mother making it, my grandmother making it, and I make it as well. And it's called Kremigkohl. Now, you've heard of sauerkraut, but that's Kremigkohl, which is creamed cabbage, instead of pickled cabbage or soured cabbage. So I'm going to make for you a creamed cabbage that we use a lot. Now, when you make creamed cabbage in our household, you start with the meat. And what I've put in here is one bratwurst, fresh bratwurst. And I've taken the casing off, taken out the insides, and put it into the pan. And I'm browning it in the pan with about a medium-sized onion chopped up and about a half a stick of butter. Now I'm in the pan, I'm making them browned until the onions are just kind of soft, and we get that nice aroma from that, and the seasonings from the bratwurst is what really goes off into the cabbage. Now when that starts to become browned, you've got a lot of grease in there, kind of from the sausage and from the butter, and you're going to add to that about 3 tablespoons of flour. And when you add flour to any kind of butter or meat fats or grease, it's a roux. And a roux, when you fry a roux in a pan, you stir it really good, because you're going to make a cream sauce or a gravy, and it thickens that cream sauce up really nice. So I'm going to make my roux, and that's what I'm doing now, is I'm adding the flour to that bratwurst and those onions and that butter. And it's nice and thick and it's nice and smooth. And to that I'm going to add milk. Now when you add milk to the roux, it'll start to thicken the milk and start to make a nice sauce. And you want to keep adding milk until it's the consistency that you like. Usually it takes about 1 cup to 2 cups of milk to thicken up and make a nice sauce. And I've put in there about 1.5 cups of milk and 3 tablespoons of flour. And it's thickening up nicely to make the cream sauce. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of salt to taste. And in German cooking, real commonly, vinegar, about 2 tablespoons. And whenever you put in vinegar in a German recipe, it's followed usually by sugar. Vinegar and sugar together, German potato salad and all kinds of German dishes have that sweet and sour type of combination, and this is no exception. Now, the next thing I'm going to add in is the Philly, because it's not really as creamy as we like it to be. So the Philly is going to make that cream sauce really, really stand out and give it that tang that the cream cheese has. And you mix in the cream sauce, the cream cheese, because that's the secret to making your cream sauce nice and thick and rich. And as you add that in, we're going to add mushrooms. These are sliced mushrooms, about 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. And I'm going to add them to the sauce and let them cook down into the sauce. Now I like to take button mushrooms, the whole ones, the button mushrooms, and I like to slice them myself because they taste a little bit fresher. There's something about slicing the mushrooms yourself and not buying them sliced, and that makes a difference to me. So don't buy sliced ones, buy the whole button mushrooms and slice them yourself. Now you can see I'm starting to get a really nice thick cream sauce with mushrooms in it here. A mushroom cream sauce is kind of a standard for German cooking as well. It goes on meatballs and chicken and all kinds of standard cream sauce things. And then, after that all starts to work together, I'm going to get my cabbage. Now, earlier I put cabbage in a pot. I sliced the cabbage finely. This is about a medium-sized head of green cabbage and a very small head of red. And I sliced them up, not quite as thinly sliced as you see in sauerkraut, but they're sliced a little thicker, but I parboiled them. I put them in water and boiled it up a little bit. Don't be afraid when the water turns purple, because that red cabbage makes it turn purple. I don't know why. But anyway, it turns a kind of a purple. You drain the water off, and these are parboiled, so they're a little bit crispy and a little bit boiled. And I'm going to add the cabbage then to the mixture. And it's starting to bubble up. And the mushrooms and the cream sauce all blends together, and the cabbage becomes creamed. And you have in there your onions, you have your butter, your cream cheese, and of course your vinegar and sugar that gives it that German touch. And it all cooks down. And your cabbage, you want it to be just heated up now, because you want your cabbage a little bit firm, but soft enough that it's comfortable to eat. And with those mushrooms that have all cooked down now, and the mushrooms are starting to cook into a nice soft form, and your German cabbage. And you let that simmer for only about 5 or 10 minutes till it's all nice and blended and the cabbage is all nice and hot. Kremigkohl, creamed cabbage. Kremigbraten with sauerkraut, with brat. And then my grandmother would take that creamed cabbage and she'd add it to the plate. And I'm going to show you how good this looks in just a minute. A nice helping of hot creamed cabbage. And she'd serve it with a pork chop that maybe she grilled or just pan fried with peaches. Creamed cabbage. Philadelphia helps me be a better Nana. And my Großmutter taught me to be a little German Nana and a better real woman of Philadelphia.